Shallows! Happy Thursday as we're recording this. And my camera's a bit shaky, but no, we're back on track. I'm your host, Nathan Nguyen. Yes, another name change. What's new? Really nothing, to be honest, other than the freaking name, because I can't stick for a name for this podcast. But we are trying to be more organized. We are trying to keep a brand that makes sense and just be more, simple, but also organized. So we are now the Third and 10 podcast. We used to be the Backup to the Backup podcast. And I tell you, Brian, I like how we're off to a rough start. We started late. My legs shaking for no reason.
It does that. Legs
Maybe
do
I'm,
that. They're weird
maybe I'm
sometimes.
just anxious today. Maybe I'm just anxious today or something.
I would say excitement.
Hey, that's probably a better word. Better word. If you guys don't know, joining me is my best friend, of not just Belly Up Sports, but he's been my guy since day one. Fellow Giants fan, Brian
Unfortunately.
Germinaro. Fortunately, unfortunately, my brother. Fortunately and
Yeah.
unfortunately. But how you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. We got Rangers Knicks playoffs about to start. Mets are looking good. It's really just the Giants that are pissing me off right now. So what I think you can't be too bad. Can't complain about that.
Exactly. I mean, not all of our teams can win, especially New York. Not every
No,
team in
they
New
all
York
can't
can
win,
win.
but
So it is what it is, and we'll just have to roll with it. Today we got a pretty good slate for you guys episode wise. We got the Giants to talk about, of course. The Third and 10 podcast will be specifically for the New York Giants. Me and Brian, let's be honest, when it comes to the sports world, the New York atmosphere, the Giants, the NFL more specifically is what we're best at covering. So from now on, this podcast will focus on the NFL more, and with the focus on the Giants specifically
yeah,
as well.
it's a Giants podcast that sometimes dives into NFL stories.
Exactly. And like 1% sometimes we'll dive into the Knicks because, well,
Yeah, we'll dive into other things we see going on.
exactly.
Mhm.
So you guys can follow us on X and Twitter, Brian at BrianPG1016, me at Nathan_New124. I am also part of two other shows. One of them is called Pigging Out, which is on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 in the East Coast. And then I'm also part of the Corner Booth podcast now, 1/4 of the group, producing and also being part of the show. So check us out on those two podcasts, the Corner Booth and Pigging Out. And then also this podcast with me and Brian. Schedule wise, we're not, it's undecided as of right now, and it kind of makes sense, right, Brian? Because off season, we
Yeah.
really don't really know how to work this out. But I feel like once we ramp up towards the season, like July and August, we'll have a more consistent schedule.
Yeah, and then
Um,
it's also we're in different spots right now. I know
exactly,
you're home, but I'm in college. I'm gonna leave here in a month, so my schedule's gonna be drastically different in a month. So we
exactly,
gotta, it's a work problem, but we're definitely gonna be definitely Thursday at 1 is definite, and then we can figure out from there. But
exactly. We
we
can we can
definitely
promise you
once a
guys like
week.
once a week. Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
talk to us once a week. I will promise once a week you will talk to us.
There you go. See, that's perfect
Hmm.
for both of us. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think that's a promise we could keep to you guys once a week. The days may vary, but as long as an episode gets out to you guys with information, and of course, we'll clip some stuff up
Hmm.
for you. Um, we hope you guys are okay with that. So, thank you so much for your support
It's
once
kind
again,
of like
guys.
a surprise. They give it like Christmas
Yeah,
morning. Oh shit, these guys are gone.
it's like, oh, they're live, or oh, the episode's out. Let's go watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm just I'm grateful for you guys for listening and watching wherever you may be. I'm grateful for you, Brian, as well, for being my partner throughout all this.
Of course,
And
bro.
well, let's get started, man. Let's have some fun today, shall we?
Yeah, yeah. Let's go.
All right. So the Third and 10 podcast is separated into three segments, and our first segment is called, well, you kind of can guess
Can
it.
I guess?
Can you
Is it first
go?
down?
It's first down. First down is presented by
Wow.
Seat. First down is presented by SeatGeek, the best place to get your tickets for sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, all the above. And if you use the code BellyUpSports, you get $20 off your first order. That is the code BellyUpSports for
You
$20
see
off.
Geek to get the opening day. Great seat,
Open it.
$60 in left field. Shout out
Yes,
SeatGeek on that
sir.
one.
I might use SeatGeek to go to an A's game. Oh, see, we're already going off topic from football. I'm an Oakland A's fan, and I might be using SeatGeek to go to a game maybe next month. that's to be determined. We shall see, because John Fisher is charging us a lot of money to see a trash team, but I won't dive in too much into that.
Not right now. That's an article thing.
Um, so the New York Giants, right, guys? Today is the 18th as we're recording this, and by this time next week, it's the NFL
Oh
draft.
boy.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
I'm excited, but I'm terrified. I'm
Yeah.
terrified. General sentence among all my roommates, the five of us, all of us, most of us are fans of different teams, and we're all sitting there like, a week is going to be an issue. Like we're just
I
saying,
know.
this morning we woke up and it's like, all right, 1 week and we're going to have a problem on our hands, aren't we?
It's like we're so antsy. Like we want to just get to the draft already. Like just like, come on, let's start it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just,
At this
we
point,
can't wait anymore.
I saw a rumor say that the Patriots were looking to trade 3. It's like, you just said 2 months ago you weren't. Like, I'm tired of the rumors. Just let's go.
And it's like, you know, there's so many people saying, "Oh, this team's gonna do this," or "This team's gonna trade up." Like, not like it's all fun and games when it comes to that stuff. I mean, we're gonna do a mock draft right now for us Giants, but it's like once it gets to like the day of, all the mock drafts like just go away,
Everything goes
and
out
we
the
can
window as soon as the Bears were put on the clock.
exactly one Chicago. Yep.
Every rumor, oh, this team might do this, this team wants to do this, that's all out the window and means nothing. Literally means nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Oh shoot, whoa, see, look at that. Camera's already going whack on me. Oops. But yeah, so today we will be doing a mock draft, and we'll be using Pro Football Focus's mock draft simulator. Shout out to them, by the way. And as we share my screen for those of you watching on YouTube, the Giants have 7 picks, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 7 picks in this year's draft. And they have the 6th overall pick in the first round. So how this works is, well, first off, we're going to set some boundaries. Brian, are we going to make any trades right now? Oh, and by the way, this is going to be the first of 2 mock drafts. We'll do one today, and we'll do one next week before the draft, if possible.
I think first round we can do trades, but other than that, no.
Okay, so we might do a trade in the first round.
Yeah, because like I have an idea of what I would want the Giants to do in the first round.
Okay.
The second round is just such a coin flip that you can't do an accurate trade.
Exactly. The Giants have a few needs, quarterback. Well, not a few. That's an understatement.
The Giants have a few positions that they don't need.
That's true. Which are what exactly?
Left tackle.
Left tackle.
Edge rusher. Pass rushing in general, really, because they got Burns and Kayvon, and they can do some stuff there.
True.
That's really it.
That's really it. Other than that, every other position needs help.
What else? Like, I'm like, you don't need
a punter.
Those, like, I want, like, you don't really need a tackle, but like you could use a tackle.
Use some.
You don't really need a cornerback, but you could definitely use a cornerback. Like, maybe some help in the secondary. Like,
true. See,
really anywhere.
But yeah, Giants have a few needs actually that really stand out: quarterback, wide receiver, and corner is one of them as well. Tight end is a possibility because Darren Waller can't make up his damn mind.
Yeah, that's all up in. I would love if he could make up his mind right now. Like,
dude, seriously.
Make up your mind so like we can know going into the draft.
Like at this point, it's just like
pencil you in.
Yeah, just make your fucking decision and call it a day. Like, Jesus.
Big decision, but like, what are you still arguing? It's been months.
Yeah. That's whatever. He's enjoying his summer break too much, or whatever the case may be.
Summer yet?
I know what I'm saying. That's what he's over here saying.
It's raining up here.
It's
literally disgusting up here. We had a nice 70-degree day yesterday. I was outside. We had music going. Beautiful. Woke up this morning.
Look, man, I can't complain on my end. It's nice over here.
It must be nice living out in California.
Oh, it's sunny.
It doesn't rain. Meanwhile, I think it's rained every single weekend up here. Since I came back.
It's rained sometimes here. It's rained a few times past few days, but today is one of those nice days for us.
Yeah, must be nice.
California, baby. But yeah,
Yep.
so how this is gonna work is, so we're only gonna control the Giants in this mock draft. Everything else will be controlled by the CPU, or we'll call it the CPU. And based off who goes in the first 5 picks, we will decide if we trade down
Yeah, pretty much.
or go from there. Alrighty, so I'm gonna press the start button here. Can you see the screen, Brian? You
Yeah,
can
I can
see.
see it. I can see it.
Perfect,
Yep.
beautiful. All right, let's see. Caleb Williams goes. Oh, slow down real quick. Caleb Williams goes number 1, followed by Drake May, JJ. Oh,
Are you telling me that? Wow, Jane Daniels is there at
he's
6?
there.
Take him.
So take him. Alrighty, no question. So for this particular mock draft, Jaden Daniels is available on the board, which makes no sense whatsoever because JJ McCarthy decides to go or the Patriots decide to go number 3 to the Patriots, which means Jaden Daniels is available for us. Brian, your thoughts on Jaden Daniels, buddy, as he's available for the Giants at 6
He
as we
is
select
the
him.
guy. I've been talking about Daniels ever really since the season ended. Daniels is, I think, the best quarterback for the Giants. I think he fits the system really well. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's not going to let the noise of New York, maybe the boo birds or the media get to him. I think he's going to stay in his lane, get the quarterback done, and then he can throw the ball downfield. He has the ability to rush and scramble. He's a perfect guy for this Giants offense.
I 100% agree. I mean, this guy, his scrambling ability, and it's like the only thing is his arm. Like he isn't like the strongest guy or whatever the case may be, but his arm
No,
is adequate enough to perform at the NFL level. He can obviously run with the football, and when I say run with the football, I don't mean like Daniel Jones run with the football because he runs weird and it's just I don't know. He's not a dual threat quarterback
no.
compared to what Jaden Daniels is.
Jane Daniels, you could actually run. Like you could set up a part of your playbook as okay, this is about quarterback running. Daniel Jones is just kind of like you can do a few plays, but you can't do the same amount as Jane Daniels can.
100%, 100%. And so, hey, there we go, Brian. That first round was pretty easy. We got a
It's an
quarterback,
A.
A+ already to me.
Mm-hmm. I
Giants.
will say so. I'll talk about the trade I wanted to make. So
Okay.
if it should have been Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jane Daniels in some order. McCarthy should be there at 6. That's when you call the Minnesota Vikings up. You get Minnesota's 2 first-round picks, and then you drop in the draft. Let the Vikings deal with McCarthy, and then
Ah,
you probably take a corner with 11, and then either trade back or reach for Penix. Probably your best case.
I want if he's. Let me see if he's there. Let me see if he's here. As we are in the second round, is he still there?
I doubt it.
He's not there.
Yeah, no. So he won the first. He won the
Oh,
first. Yeah.
it worked out.
Spencer Rattler. He's watch out for him. He's rising up draft boards fast. He might be another guy the Giants take.
I do. For some reason, he stands out to me. I don't
He's
know
not bad.
why.
So he's got a bad reputation because he was on I don't know if you ever watched. There was a show on Netflix. It was called Quarterback One Behind the Lights, and what they did was it was kind of like the quarterback show that the NFL just made, where they follow they follow 3 highly touted high school quarterbacks
Uh huh.
and like throughout their senior season. So you watch them play their senior year of high school and how they transition into becoming like a college freshman. Very cool concept. Love the show. But Spencer Rattler was on that show one time, and Spencer Rattler got in trouble in high school and got kicked off the team.
No way.
Yeah, got like suspended from school. Never said what it was. I've heard rumors it was underage drinking, might have been smoking. Like it was something like he didn't do anything like horrific, but it was something stupid like that. Like you can't do that on school property. You know, so I think that since it's never been like
Oh.
revealed what it was, it's had like that negative stigma around him that he's like a head case, and then the whole transferring from transferring from Oklahoma to South Carolina, losing the job at Caleb Williams. It's just it's kind of like might his career. But if you look at what he did at South Carolina, he did exceptional. Like he showed flashes. Is he a starter right now? No, but he's a guy that can sit on the bench for a year and hop in.
Yeah, I mean, he threw 19 touchdowns last season, 8 interceptions, played 12.
Yeah.
So I guess statistically not the best, but at the same time, I mean, he's not bad.
He's not a bad project quarterback.
No.
He's not a bad guy. Like if you have an aging quarterback, like what would be really good with a team like the Jets.
Ooh,
the second, third round, have him sit behind Rodgers for a couple seasons.
I like that.
Like I know they're interested in the Tulane kid, but like I think Rattler might be a better way to go.
You might as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. If the Giants didn't get a quarterback in the first 2 rounds, Rattler is a good choice for
Rattler would
them.
be the guy. Yep.
He has to be the guy.
Mhm.
Speaking of Penix, though, he did go 2 picks before to the Saints.
Derek Carr's replacement.
Yeah, there you
Interesting.
go. Trying to get out of the fucked up contract, excuse my language, that they got themselves under. Anyways, Giants at 47. This, I'm thinking, is it safe to say we're going receiver in round 2?
I would say if we're going quarterback, if we go quarterback round 1, we go receiver round 2.
And who better than the first guy that's still on the board, Keon Coleman, right? Unless
Yes,
there's someone
sir.
else that stand out. No.
No, the only guy I could like debate would be Roman Wilson, but I like Keon Coleman better.
All right. Keon Coleman, 11 touchdowns last season. 6'4". Oh, 6'4". Oh, yep. He's the guy.
I believe that was Amari Toomer's height. I believe Amari Toomer was 6'4".
We need a tall receiver. The Giants.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants really do.
Well, that's what Kenny Galladay was supposed to be. Kenny Galladay, he was supposed to be that tall receiver the Giants have not had in a while, and he sucked. But
yeah,
if Keon Coleman, young, don't forget during the season, Keon Coleman was a first-round pick.
That's right.
There were talks the Giants were going to take him. I forgot what the Giants were at the time, but like they were a top 10 pick, and Coleman was like a name thrown out as a potential pick there.
That's true. Coleman's a guy. I like Coleman. I really do. I think not just his height, but also the fact that he what's it called? He just likes being physical. He's a physical wide receiver.
Yeah.
He has solid hands as well. And I mean, he of course he has to work on a few things in terms of lack of separation and so on and so forth. But other than that, he's a solid guy to get.
Like every prospect's going to have problems. There's no such thing as a perfect prospect, especially in the NFL draft. There's no such 100%. Thing as a perfect prospect. But if you can, you have to see, do the strengths outweigh weaknesses? And I think in the case of Coleman, they do.
I think I just saw a name go off the board around 2. Blake Corum goes to the Cowboys at 56 in this mock draft.
That's okay. That's not bad. That's a little early. I thought he'd be a third-round guy, but I like the pick for Dallas.
I would think
Dallas does need a running back because I think Deuce Vaughn is still their starter right now. No offense, Deuce Vaughn, great story and everything, but cannot be running back 1 in Dallas.
He's like what, 5'6", 5'7"?
I think he might be shorter than
that. Oof, he probably just like my height. Round
again,
3.
Great story with his dad and everything, but like great stories don't make good NFL players.
They do not. I mean, it's nice, like Tommy DeVito, but
is Tommy DeVito NFL starting quarterback?
No.
Thank you.
Round 3. All right, Brian, we got quarterback address, we got receiver address. What position should we address next?
So this is a tough one. This is really a tough one. I can see the Giants going many ways here. I could see them going running back to pair up with Singletary. You could see them going maybe add some, secondary or lineman depth. Maybe pick up a tackle here to just in case the free agent signings don't work out. Maybe have someone waiting the wins. So I really think the Giants could be best player available at this point.
Really? All righty then. Okay.
So it's an edge rusher that doesn't really fit. So Jalen Wright from Tennessee is to be the best available.
True. Right. Speed, explosiveness. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's his best thing is his explosiveness.
Yeah.
Maybe he is the guy. Should we go Jalen Wright?
Yeah, let's go Jalen Wright. I like the explosiveness. I like him as a long down back, bring him in there, get a nice hole from him, and have him just kind of break off a good run.
And what's nice is that for the Giants, it's like he doesn't have to come in and be the RB1 right away because we have Devin Singletary too.
And Singletary's a solid running back, but he's a solid running back in a running back by commission style. He can't be a bell cow back. Like, Saquon Barkley was a bell cow back. Devin Singletary can't be that.
And it's crazy because Singletary and Saquon had like very similar stats last season.
Yeah.
So that said something.
Yeah. But Singletary was much cheaper than Saquon.
That is true. That gotta save money. Good job, Joe Shane, by the way.
Nice
Round
masterclass. He just talked to the media today. It was in class, so I couldn't watch it. But very, very excited to see what he had to say for today.
I think there was one thing I did want to address about Shane. I saw a tweet about it. I want to get your opinion after
Yeah.
this mock.
hmm
Round 4. We've gotten all offensive players thus far. Are we going to keep that trend going in round 4, Brian,
No,
or
we
are we going to go
probably
defense?
should look at defense now
All right,
because
defense.
you got your offense kind of figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Sure,
Let's
you
see.
could you add some depth somewhere, maybe on a line or a tight end in case Waller does retire? Sure, but I really think this is where you kind of look to your corners, your safeties, maybe a linebacker.
True. Yeah, I think linebacker for sure. We got to add some depth behind McFadden and Okereke.
hmm
But I think, and for some reason, I have fallen in love with this guy so much. Chris Abrams Drain. He's a corner from Missouri. He started as a wide receiver in college, but he switched to corner eventually down the line. He has had 7 interceptions and 34 forced incompletions since 2021. So he just makes plays on the ball like no other.
Yeah,
He's not the best in press coverage, and it's because of his weight and height. He's 5'11", 178. But in zone coverage, he does a pretty good job. And compared to what Wink Martindale's defense was last year, uh, Shane Bowen, I think he runs more zone if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
A little bit more zone. Not
Yeah, I mean, like I remember looking into him. I remember he was very big with red zone and run stopping, which is
there you go.
two very big, especially the run stopping. Like that was the one. I love Wink Martindale as a defense. I loved him. I don't like him anymore because I think he acted
Yeah.
like a child. I think he had like a spoiled brat for a while.
hmm
But I do like the one thing you can never figure it out was how to stop that run. So the fact that he have a defensive coordinator that like specialize in it, it's a nice change of pace.
There you go. So are we gonna go corner in round 4, Brian? Are we gonna go with Chris Abrams? Is
Corners,
there someone else that stands out to you by any chance?
not really. I think
No.
he's probably our best option. Having
Okay.
Banks is probably gonna be one. Like Jackson's still a free agent, I think. So maybe we sign him cheap.
Possibly. And in worst case, if we bring back Jackson, we draft a corner. At least the rookie corner gets to kind of be the
Yeah.
slot guy or learn
Oh,
behind
break.
whoever.
Apparently, there. I don't know if this is what you had in mind, but Joe Shane said that a surprising number of teams have called about number 6.
That's right. I did. That was one of the two things I wanted to address to you as we're gonna let
Yeah, I
the
just got
mock
the
list
alert on
swing.
Bleacher Report, so I'm guessing he said that during the press conference. So,
What do you think of that though?
I mean, I don't mind moving down. I think the Giants have just so many holes on the roster that like it's one of those things. Just take as many at bats as you can. Eventually,
hmm
someone's going to work out.
I think it's for me. It's like if the reason I wouldn't, and this is, the answer to this, why we
Yeah.
wouldn't, is because of just the talent that will be there for us at 6, whether it is a quarterback or a wide receiver.
hmm
There's going to be talent there at 6. It's like, yeah, you can trade down and get players down the line, but they're not going to be as talented. We drafted Keon Coleman in round 2, but we'd be lying if he said he's more talented than Malik Neighbors or
Oh
Roma
no,
Dunze.
he's very clearly the top 3. He's very clearly below them, but
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean he's not a good option to have.
100%. No, so I wouldn't mind it.
No.
I would understand Joe Shane's reasoning behind it, but if I were, I would stay.
Yeah.
I would stay. Hypothetically.
Mhm.
Round number 5. This is going to be the second to last pick for the Giants, unless we make a trade. Who are we getting in this round?
So probably go defense again. Maybe look
Defense
for the
again.
safe. Maybe this is where you kind of look at linebacker and safety.
Linebacker. Okay,
Yeah,
linebacker and safety.
linebacker.
There's a guy right there. I know you know
Yeah,
very well.
I did see him. Like, oh, I do love him so much, JD Bedard. But I think you have to go with the safety from Oregon State. I just think safety is
Okay.
more of a. I think safety is more of a pressing need because who's really going to be like that starting guy? Pinnock. It's kind of like I feel like it's like the Giants don't have like a number 1 safety right now, so I think they're just kind of like piecing it together right now. So I think a young safety, even if it's a 5th-round pick, will go a long way.
Keaton Oladapo, a 4.58 40-yard dash. Second team All Pac-12 Conference in 2023. Led the team, or tied for the team lead with 2 interceptions and 8 pass breakups. He is likely going to start as a backup, according to a scouting report by NFL.com, but he has a great shot to become an eventual starter, Brian. He's athletic.
The project guy. Yeah, he's perfect.
I
He's
like
perfect
it.
what the Giants need, because the Giants have the Giants have some veterans in safety that could play decently, but I think the Giants would like someone down the road, and he could be that guy.
You know what's crazy, Brian? You mentioned how Shane Bowen, the defensive coordinator, likes to, have players who are good at run defense. Oladapo has a
Look at
91.3
that,
Pro
perfect. So
Football
he
Focus
fits the
grade.
scheme well.
I love it, and you can put him anywhere: slot, box, deep safety, D line sometimes at the
He
corner
kind of
spot.
reminds me. He's kind of like a Landon Collins, where he's playing
I
safety,
love
but
Landon Collins.
he's playing safety, but he kind of can play everywhere. He's like that weird Swift Army knife. That's what. That's probably why he fell so far, is because he doesn't have a true position.
And maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Landon Collins. I remember he made that pick six against Indianapolis a couple years ago.
Yeah. Yes.
Man.
I was in Gillette Stadium for a Patriots Dolphins game. My friend invited me to.
Okay.
And I was watching the game on the big screen, and the entire stadium was silent. I watched the interception. I jumped out of my seat and started screaming a whole scene. And everyone's like, "What is this guy talking about? It's a commercial timeout."
That just shows a true fandom in you, buddy.
I was covering Giants here too, so it was very one turn of the head, oh.
Like, oh, he's a Giants fan. Oh, he's watching the Giants Colts game. Makes sense why he reacted like that.
Cool. Good for him, man.
Last pick of the draft for the Giants in round 6 here. Pick 183. Who are we going with this last pick, Brian?
So I guess the one position we have dressed as linebacker, and I'm staring at a linebacker right now.
Steel Chambers is a guy.
No, I don't think so.
Let's see. We have Chambers, Masao, Hopper, Michael Barrett, Curtis Jacks. You know what's crazy? We did not draft an offensive lineman.
That is crazy, yeah.
That is crazy. I don't.
Let's see, who's on the board for O-line? Anyone? This is not going to be anyone special.
Yeah, it might not be.
The guard from Miami, Javon Cohen.
I don't. Maybe we shouldn't draft go O-lineman in this one, huh?
Yeah, maybe we should just stay away.
Yeah. Defensively, your thoughts on? Are we gonna go Steel Chambers? Do you feel like he's a good fit for us? He's 6'1", 232.
How does he fit the scheme? Run defense is not great. Pass defense is great. He's good coverage guy.
Good coverage.
What's the UCLA linebacker looking like?
I feel like the UCLA one stands out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Better Pro Football Focus grade in 2023. Better pass rush. Better run defense. This guy. This is the guy.
Look at it. Look at his run defense. Look at his coverage. Look at his pass. Look at everything. He's fine. He's beautiful.
He's way better. Let's see. 52 tackles last year for UCLA. The Bruins have some. They have that one pass rusher that goes in the first round. I forgot what his name is. But he's solid.
Yeah. No, UCLA's got some guys. Good
old Los Angeles. I love LA, man. LA is a beautiful place. If they weren't so damn expensive, I'd move down there.
Really?
I tell you. Masao, he's a linebacker with muscular build. He has a unrelenting, and I mean unrelenting, desire to chase after the football. He could be a steal, man. Of course, he has to work on missed tackles and leverage in terms of his pursuit, but he can handle coverage to an extent. He's durable. He's productive as a tackler. Coaches will love him, and I think you're right. I feel like Shane Bowen will like this guy. So Darius Masao goes to the Giants, and that is pretty much it. I guess we'll just skip forward.
Yeah, because I don't really think there's anyone to.
Nah.
I the 7th round pick. If I'm going to say we're going to trade up and draft this guy, he's a steal. I can't tell you that. So no one can really tell you what these 7th round. These are all lottery tickets right now.
Exactly. I see a few guys. I saw a kicker just go off the board for some reason.
Yeah, they normally get picked in the 7th round if you're really good.
Exactly.
All right, how we do?
All right, let's see. They gave us a B+ for Jaden Daniels. Okay. They say that Rome Odunze would have been a better choice according to what Pro Football Focus is saying.
It's weird. I don't think Pro Football Focus is kind of hated on Daniels this entire time.
They're not the most accurate. I have a membership with them. Oh, I just spoiled you. I have a membership with them to get these information about the college players and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, I understand Odunze would have been a better choice, but like we just saw Michael Penix go, 2 picks before, so we would have been stuck either getting rattled in the third round or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be. So,
Mhm.
let's see. Yeah, so Jane Daniels, good pick. Keon Coleman was an excellent pick according to what they're saying. Jalen Wright was a C plus, but they're lying. Chris Abrams, drain, they're lying. Oladapo was a good pick, and Massa was a great pick as well. A B plus was our overall draft grade.
I'd be happy with this draft. Like if this is what the
Yeah, me
Giants came out,
too.
if this is what the Giants on next Monday come out with, I'll take it.
I wouldn't mind it. No. Uh, Surprisingly, Malik Neighbors goes ahead of Marvin Harrison Jr.
That was a rumor I heard a few months ago that like teams like Neighbors more, but I don't think so. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is still the best receiver in his class, and he'll go 4.
I mean, he is a complete receiver. I mean, I understand Neighbors is very talented. Same thing for Odunze, but Harrison Jr. He's 6'4" guy. He has great speed, acceleration, great hands. One-on-one matchups, he's unstoppable. He got so much better, and it's not like not that so much better, but he got better in 2023 compared to 2022. But it was like the little things, and he got so much better in those little things as well. So shout out to Marvin Harrison. If he falls to the Giants, no doubt you take him.
Oh yeah, no. If Marvin Harrison's there, he's definitely the pick.
I would take him in a heartbeat. Oh man,
Yeah. That's a wide receiver run.
100%. Well, that was fun. First mock draft done. We will have another one next week. Maybe we'll do some trades and have some fun. Maybe we'll trade down and just get more players because the Giants just have so many needs. Maybe we'll go O-line. Who knows? As we shift to our second segment, and it's called, you guessed it, Second Down.
Man, I'm psychic.
Second Down is presented by Yeats Sunglasses. Yeats was started by two best friends in the water sports industry. Their mission basically is to sell the most high quality, stylish, and in all of that, affordable sunglasses on the market. They use high quality materials while making it look stylish. These sunglasses are outstanding. My pair is actually going to be on the way soon. And guess what, Brian? For every pair that we buy, or for our viewers, for each pair that they do buy, they remove 1 pound of trash from the local beaches of Florida.
Love it.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that a good thing? I tell you.
It's a great thing. Make the oceans nice.
Exactly. Use the code BellyUpPod for 10% off your order from Yeats Sunglasses.
I used to work in the fish market. The ocean's important to me.
They have some nice sunglasses. I tell you, it's like they look like baseball glasses, like the ones that you see they're solid, dude. But what's it called? Yeah. So our second. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah,
I'm trying to think what the sunglasses are called. So it starts with an R, but I forgot what it was.
Oakley.
Oh, Oakley's.
That's
yeah, Oakley's.
I always thought like having those colors. Like I didn't really wear sunglasses when I first bought them, but like just having them on my head with my hat, just even if it was just on the hat itself, it just looked cool.
Yeah. No, I always had sunglasses when I played baseball.
But yeah, so second down, our next segment will be on Darius Slayton. Now, okay, I love Slayton. I do. I know Brian does too. But here's the thing. Okay, so I understand you were the leading receiver for the past 5 seasons. That is not saying too much, but it is an accomplishment. He signed a 2-year, $12.2 million deal last season, so before the start of last season. He is due $6.2 million this year. Both of us are supporters of players getting their money because I would do the same thing. You would do the same thing too.
Yeah, you have to get paid.
That's right. But he is not at voluntary workouts, which is not that big of a deal, but he's not there because he wants a new deal. And unfortunately, I was a bit disappointed, but I feel like the best way to express my disappointment is through Brian. So tell me, why are we pissed about this?
We're pissed about this not because it's voluntary workouts. It's because of the message he's sending to the team. His message is I deserve more money than you give me, so I'm going to hold out. And then down the road, that could lead to what he's going to hold out from minicamp, training camp. Is this going to be a whole thing? But here's the issue. Darius Slayton is a good receiver. There's 100 receivers just like him. We could pick up 6 Darius Slaytons in this draft alone. Okay, so he's not a special guy by anything. All right, guys who hold out are like Justin Jefferson, Joey Bosa, Odell Beckham Jr., I think, Saquon throwing. Those are guys who are hard to replace. Those are especially talented guys. Darius Slayton is a wide receiver 3 on any other team. All right? Sure, he led the Giants in passing. A fan could lead the Giants in passing. They had Daniel Jones throwing. They Tommy DeVito. It was a massive joke of how bad the Giants' offensive weapons have been for years. And now you're going to sit there like you're the wide receiver one? Get out of here. All right? No, you're not. I'll cut you right now and figure it out how to deal with you. I can replace you tomorrow.
So before I answer that, let's play devil's advocate. Let's say, look, the Giants, they do need Darius Slayton. Let's say, look, he's a former Auburn guy. Maybe extending him isn't the worst thing in the world. He did lead the team in receiving despite not passing 1,000, over 1,000 yards, surpassing, I should say. And he's been producing despite the fact that the quarterback play is bad. Daniel Jones, Tyler Taylor's pretty solid. Tommy DeVito, right? He's been able to produce. And he's a deep threat guy. His 15.1 yards per reception are the fourth most among the 79 pass catches with 200 plus receptions over the past 5 seasons. I did not paraphrase that whatsoever. That was according to ESPN, so credit to them, not me, because I should have paraphrased, but I could not. Mm-hmm. This puts him better than guys like Justin Jefferson, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, and he used to be known for drops, and he got much better at that in 2023, right? And maybe all he needs is, a competent quarterback, and maybe he can be a wide receiver number one.
Right, but I don't want to pay him on the idea he could be the wide receiver number one. I want to pay him because his production says he's a wide receiver number one. That's where you get in trouble. That's where GMs get in trouble. That's why a general manager is going to get fired when they draft JJ McCarthy. It's because the idea of, well, he's young and he's won everywhere. Okay, that's an idea of a good quarterback. Let's actually look at his numbers on the field. Darius Slayton's never gone over 100 yards, 1,000 yards in the season. Never broken 800 yards in the season. The most he ever did was last year was 770. Never had doubled every year. He had 8 touchdowns his rookie season. Since then, he's barely been able to break 4. And he had the drops. He's very lucky. Kirk Cousins checked down on that 4th and 10 to TJ Hawkinson, because he would have been run out of town last year had the Giants lost that playoff game because of that drop.
Because it was 4th down, right? And he had a chance to just seal it with that catch, but he dropped. I remember how
he could have packed. He caught the ball and he had Green in front of him. He would have got the first down, and the Giants could have just kneeled and the game was over. Instead, you have to take off more years off Giants fans' lifespan with more stress of Kirk Cousins running out there. All this could have been avoided if you did your job and caught the ball.
Slayton had 50 catches last year on 76 targets, 4 touchdowns, and 769 yards. Finished with a 67.5 Pro Football Focus grade in 2023. Yeah, and he's good. But back to our point, which is we don't really need him, because here's the thing. It was last year, right? And there was so much hype. I think for me personally, the wide receiver, it was Slayton. It was Wan'Dale Robinson. We just drafted Jalen Hyatt. We had Isaiah Hodgins, who shined the year before. I forgot Cole Beasley. Signed
and Darren Waller was like the main guy. It was like, okay, Darren Waller would be the wide receiver 1, and then the wide receiver room was a bunch of 2 and 3 guys. It's perfect.
Yeah, so we had like 6 or 7 pass catchers that were, that could have made an impact, and really none of them did.
Really separated themselves.
No,
this was a chance for someone to step up, and we didn't see that.
Yeah, Waller was
interesting.
Yeah, jeez, I tell you,
that's the most nice way to describe what Waller did in New York. It was interesting. It was an interesting time. It still is interesting because he's debating retirement for 8 months.
I thought he was going to be good.
I did too. I loved it. I thought it was Joe Shane being creative, that he just couldn't get his hands on a true wide receiver 1. So let's get creative and get a tight end.
Look at us now. We have to draft another tight end. Yeah, but see, like you just mentioned, the Giants, someone was supposed to stand out last year. No one did. So, and that's the thing heading into this draft, is because many mock drafts, they have the Giants selecting a wideout in the first round. We just did a mock draft. I know we got Jaden Daniels, which is good for us, but realistically,
it's the kid from Washington. It's
yeah,
Ozuma.
exactly. So by the time we pick 6 overall, we're gonna have a choice at, out of the 3 receivers, and Marvin Harrison or Odunze or Neighbors, and it's like you just mentioned Odunze. It's not out of the possibility to say the Giants, let's say Odunze's still there. Maybe we do draft Odunze. And if Michael Penix is available in round 2, maybe they do get Michael Penix in round 2. You get 2 teammates who went to the same college at Washington. That works out, chemistry wise. And the Giants get 2 needs solved in the first round. You get receiver and quarterback in rounds 1 and 2. And you know what? Let's say they do get Neighbors, right? Neighbors, he's explosive, he's talented, eye popping. He's just like Odell, just with a little less drama. Not that I minded the drama, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there is rumors that he has drama coming out. You see that? Yeah, there's a rumor that a few teams are worried about it.
He made some comments about going to the Giants, but he talked about how like, they better get a quarterback who can give me the ball, and I'm like, he's not wrong. So I don't.
It's not wrong. He's not wrong at all.
He's not wrong at all. And his film just says everything. He's a talented guy. And Marvin Harrison Jr., he speaks for himself. I mean, he has a Hall of Fame father, Hall of Fame bloodline, 6'4", big guy. I love him. So it's just the Giants are gonna get somebody.
Yes.
And you bring that somebody in, so it's gonna be out of the 3, one of those 3 guys. Then you have Wan'Dale Robinson in the slot. You have Hyatt on the outside because you didn't draft him in the 3rd round for nothing.
Yeah.
And then Slayton, are you going to ask him again to take a lesser role?
Pretty much, he's the odd man out.
Yeah.
He's the odd man out, especially if you're drafting a receiver.
Yeah. So you might as well just we have a week till the draft. If the Giants look, and I wrote an article on Belly Up Sports, not to plug myself, but I wrote about it, saying that maybe draft or trading him now was the best idea, because if you don't, why would you wait till after? No.
I could see it before the draft or during camp if someone goes down.
Oh,
if there's an injury in camp, someone will call about Slayton. Someone will see the numbers and go, he's not great, but he's just kind of a solid guy who plug and play kind of guy. Day 3 pick for him.
Didn't Chase Claypool go for a second?
Yes.
Oh, hell no. Give me it. If Claypool can go for a second, Slayton can go for a second. No, but my point is that either you trade him now, or you deal with this extension later. If the Giants want to extend him, we won't have an issue with it, but it's just a matter of how much of a role he's going to have, and that's going to be just so impacted on who the Giants get in the first round. Because in terms of probability, I give it 70-30 between receiver and quarterback. 70 being a receiver, 30% quarterback.
I think a quarterback is picked if all the stars align the right way, and the quarterback that Daboll and Shane Love is somehow fell out of that top 3.
There you go. So yeah, at the end, trading Slayton, for a mid-round pick isn't really out of the question. Teams could use a guy like him. It's just here with the situation the Giants are in. They need a true number 1 guy. They already have solid 2s and 3s in Robinson and Hyatt. You just brought up Isaiah McKenzie from free agency. I'm going to just say this guy's name. I don't know if he'll make an impact, but Bryce Ford Wheaton made some noise in the preseason last year and in the training camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just don't
Hodgins
know.
too.
Hodgins is still there as a wild card. Slayton's at best the wide receiver 4.
Yeah.
You're really going to hold out for that?
Probably not. And it's crazy.
You're going to give a contract extension to a wide receiver 4?
You know what's crazy?
I'm going to replace him in the draft.
It's crazy because, we're talking about a guy who led the team receiving, and now all of a sudden we're saying, we don't mind seeing him go. And that's just how the Giants are in this situation. There's nothing.
He was a leading receiver, but again, that's not saying much. That's not an accomplishment.
If Slayton does play out the rest of the year with the Giants, regardless of what happens, he is owed $6.2 million this year, and he will be a free agent following this season. And he enters a market which was pretty strong this past offseason, by the way. Gabe Davis got paid, Darnell Mooney got paid, Curtis Samuel got paid. Those last 2 guys kind of at the same level as Slayton in terms of talent and whatnot. So, if he stays with the Giants, great. Maybe someone else is the odd man out, possibly, for New York. And you
Yeah.
can argue that you can never have too many weapons, but at the same time, we will see how it plays out within the next week.
Yeah, I
But
mean, you could make a legitimate case. Like even before, let's just say none of this drama happens. Let's just say
yeah,
Slayton goes in. I'm gonna go put my head down, go to work, whatever. Giants draft receiver in the first round. You could make the argument that he's a potential cut in camp
that is true.
because he's just like, all right, like if he underperforms in camp, Hodgins is cheaper than him. If Hodgins outplays him, why have a $6 million guy? Get him out of here.
Yeah. And we can't forget Hyatt's gonna get so much better.
Yeah, exactly.
There
Hyatt
you go.
and Wandale should get better too.
There you go.
So it's just like you're just kind of stuck if you're like Slayton has read the room so horribly and has overplayed his hand here that like he's pissed off the fan base. And he's got no leverage.
I feel like it's 50-50. Fans are saying, let's bring him back, and other fans are like, no, are like us. We're saying, no, we don't really need him. So
I think people are like, oh, he's wide receiver one. Okay, he's wide receiver one on a really bad offense.
it's like, it's not saying much.
It's not saying much.
But shout out to Slate. Regardless of what happens, thank you for your service. He did do a lot for us in terms of taking a lesser role at one point and being on the bench to start the season at once upon a time, and then all of a sudden coming out and producing as to the best of his ability. So I appreciate his services, but if he's gone, thank you, but we won't be shedding a tear. I don't think me and Brian will. So
good luck.
Good luck, buddy.
Good luck, buddy. Right. I hope you succeed somewhere. It's just
somewhere.
Not gonna be here.
Maybe Carolina. They could use you. We shift to third down now, and third down is presented by a Righteous Felon Jerky. Use the code BELLYUP for 15% off your order. Righteous Felon Jerky for over a decade now. They have led the meat snack revolution by concocting delicious and outstanding jerky recipes for people across the country. Their protein is pasture-raised, free of added growth hormones, and delivered fresh weekly. And I tell you, fresh, and I mean fresh. They're a great snack to have, and this is just something you need in your pantry, man. I tell you. And Belly Up is the code for 50% off your order. So shout out to Righteous Felon for sponsoring this third and final segment of the day, which has to do with a coach who possibly, and I mean possibly, could steal Brian Daboll's job.
Good.
Bill Belichick was in the running for the Falcons job this past offseason. Unfortunately for him, the Atlanta Falcons hired Raheem Morris, the former Rams defensive coordinator.
There's some... did you see the report coming out about what Kraft was doing?
I did, and
I want to see what that's about because because this has been a very weird thing because we had
the
Dynasty. Did you see the Dynasty on Apple Plus yet?
The Dynasty. Oh, I have not.
It's a 10-part documentary about the Patriots dynasty. Me and my roommate was a big Patriot fan. We watched the first episode, trying to get back around to it. Crazy schedules and stuff. But one of the things Kraft said was, I didn't like how they treated Belichick.
That's right.
You're the one running it. What do you mean you're not going to treat Belichick? And then you got this. It's like, okay, do Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick hate each other? Like, what's this weird drama unfolding here? Because, like, sure, it was probably best to move on from Bill Belichick. He was there for 24 years. The message got stale. It happens to some guys.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that Kraft was going around and warning other owners about Belichick, like, that's just something it's a weird thing, especially after a 24-year relationship that ended in 6 Super Bowls.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I was surprised because you just mentioned they've worked together for so long, and all of a sudden you fire him, and then you prevent him from getting another job. And when I mean preventing, apparently Robert Kraft told Falcons owner Arthur Blank that they shouldn't trust a former Patriots coach, and he called Bill stubborn, extremely difficult, and arrogant. Which
Bill Belichick probably is. If we're being honest, he probably is.
You look at him, it's like he looks like he's harsh.
Come on, guy doesn't smile. dude, I don't think is a holly jolly coach.
A source close to Belichick said that Arthur Blank was the reason why he was not being hired. He was not hired by the Falcons at the end. Apparently, Belichick was not even in the top 3 for consideration for the Falcons job. So, despite all the hype around all Belichick when it happened, he wasn't even in the top 3. So, Robert Kraft, he kind of messed things up big time.
It just kind of shows how much pull Robert Kraft has in the NFL. Like everyone always says that Jerry Jones is like the most powerful NFL owner. Kraft could make an argument after this one.
It's just weird how he doesn't have a job, Belichick. I mean, he's been so
weird.
successful, and it's like
you think someone would bring him in, unless he just doesn't want to be a coordinator.
That's the thing I want to talk about.
Yeah,
because for the Giants, I've seen what a former Patriots coach can do to a team. You've seen it.
I've seen it. Yep.
I've seen it.
Joe Judge.
And no, don't get me wrong. I was really excited.
I was gonna run. I literally watched Joe Judge's opening press conference and literally almost ran through a wall. I'm like, I want to play football now. I want to play for this guy. This guy is awesome.
And it's like now it's like, oh, so
yeah. Now it's just like, oh, you're just trying way too hard to be Belichick. Okay.
Just another Matt Patricia.
Josh McDaniels, name them. All the Patriots that have gone on to fail.
It just shows like if you're a coordinator, not all coordinators are destined to become coaches one day. So
and that's fine. Some guys just Pat Shurmur, I would take as offensive coordinator right now.
Me too.
Love Pat Shurmur's
I love Pat Shurmur.
Yeah.
He fixed Daniel Jones. He fixed Daniel Jones.
I think he could fix Daniel Jones again. I think he fixed Drew Lock for a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or some Broncos quarterback was having like a decent run with Pat Shurmur as his OC. So Shurmur is a really good OC. We're going to see if Dan Quinn can maybe elevate himself. But I would say right now Dan Quinn's a great coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
So it just happens to some guys. It doesn't mean they're bad coaches. It just, some guys just can't handle a head coaching job. It happens.
And that's the thing, because if this is what Dable's third year, time goes by so fast. This is Dable's third year with Joe Shane at GM, and it's just, I understand if the Giants do bad again this year, there's going to be some talks of replacing Dable, but I don't want to.
I really don't think, unless like it's like an 0-16 just complete disaster type thing, then maybe at that point you kind of like have to fire Dable to show like, okay, we need to do something. But if Dable goes through another year where he's like hovering around 500, kind of makes a run, kind of maybe improves a little bit from this year, he's not going anywhere. Dable would really have to mess up to get fired this season.
What's the minimum amount of wins?
Minimum?
Yeah. Because we obviously they're going to improve, but shit happens.
Or injury or anything, I would say with a healthy roster, he probably should repeat what he did this season.
How much of an impact would you say having their guy at quarterback matters to the decision?
A lot. Because I think if they finally pick their quarterback, they're going to get a shot to be with them. Because it's been an arranged marriage with Daniel Jones for 3 years now. They didn't pick Daniel Jones. They were brought in and basically told by John Mara, you have to make it work with this guy. At least have to try to make it work with him. And then it worked for a season, and then they had the pressure of definitely Mara, and then the fan base of, well, you have to sign him now. And then they signed him, and in hindsight, probably wasn't the best decision. And now they have to, live with that decision. But I think if they are allowed to get their guy, they'll have an extended leash because they'll let him develop. Because Josh Allen wasn't, the guy overnight in Buffalo. It took him a year or two.
That's true. I don't want to stretch it too long for this particular argument, but I think that's why getting a quarterback just matters so much. We discussed it before on the backup, now the third and 10 podcast, but that just it just shows why it matters so much to get a quarterback this year, because that would say, okay, Dable and Kafka, the OC, and Shane have their guy instead of going through another year with Daniel Jones. Yeah, they just picked up Drew Lock, but it's like that's
again, it's not their guy. That's a free agent.
that's not, yeah. So
like when you draft your guy, it's a guy that you can mold into what you want. Basically, drafting a quarterback is like getting a thing of Play-Doh, and you can make it whatever you want. Getting Daniel Jones and Drew Lock is kind of getting Play-Doh that's been left out for a little bit. It's kind of hard now, so you have to like make it work.
I used to play with Play-Doh.
I love
Play-Doh. I my parents would get mad at me if I made like a mix. I would like just go crazy with it. I go wild and just make a complete mess. Yeah, they did a lot of. Anyways, but I think we both like Dable. I do, and I feel like even if he does bad this upcoming season, one more year if he does bad. But I believe, I really do. I like.
It's one of those things where like Dable hasn't lost the locker room.
No,
like they still play like that was, I think that was a big issue with Joe Judge.
Yeah,
that was an issue with Ben McAdoo. That became an issue towards the end with Pat Shurmur. I think you could have saved it, but like, like, so as long as you don't lose the locker room, like I think you're fine.
There's 3 teams Belichick would work for: Dallas, Philly, and the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, Belichick's always said that about the Giants. Belichick always, even when he was the head coach of the Patriots, he always said like the one team I lead the Patriots for would be the Giants because he respected the organization so much.
If I could rank the likeliest of destinations he would go out of the 3, considering the job security of the coaches, I hate to say it, but Dallas may be number 1.
So I go Philly, Dallas, Giants.
Do you feel like Philly is more unstable?
I feel Philly is more unstable. I just feel like Nick Sirianni is a ticking time bomb, especially like you're starting to get the reports out there that like some guys in the locker room don't like his antics. They kind of lost it when he lost a security guard. If you need a security guard to keep your guys in line, you're not cut out to be a head coach. All right, like I can see Nick Sirianni message getting very old very fast in Philly, and especially that you've lost a leader like Jason Kelce in that locker room whose impact is going to be majorly felt, not just on the field but off the field. Like that's, I feel like Nick Sirianni do something stupid, but Jason Kelce could sit up there and rally the guys. Take over. Who's going to take over that spot?
Wasn't it Fletcher Cox who retired too?
Cox retired, yeah. So they lost they've lost a lot of their leadership, and it's up to Nick Sirianni to kind of like replace that, and I just don't think he's that guy.
I just put Dallas at 1 because Dallas is just Dallas.
And then it's Jerry Jones and McCarthy is not great and all, but I'm just thinking like I think Dallas has a better shot to like Philly is so boom or bust this year that like, and that's not even like my Philly bias coming in. Like, I just don't trust Nick Sirianni. I just don't think he's a good coach. I think he's being saved by his talent. You
said Philly bias.
Yeah. I have a bias. I'll admit I'm a bias towards Philly. I hate it. I hate the city. You ever watch SpongeBob growing up?
I have not. I've watched a few episodes, so I may catch on to what you're trying to say.
You know the bullworm, the one with the worm, when they're like, that we should push the city somewhere else?
Yeah.
If it was physically possible, I'd push the city of Philadelphia into that river.
Now take it and put it somewhere else.
Yeah, see, I would push Philadelphia and just push it into the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, it's somewhere else now.
Well, I guess my Phillies fandom will not be mentioned in this podcast anymore. So
I'm sorry, I'm watching the baseball game right now. Is George Bush at the Tigers game?
George Bush? He has nothing better to do. Well,
apparently, like there's a guy looks like the former president.
He's enjoying life.
That's him or not, but I'm not listening with sound.
He's enjoying life, I guess. So our bonus
next president. That's all I would do.
Our bonus segment today, which is something we won't do all the time, but
we're going for it on 4th down.
We're going for it on 4th down for once, which goes completely outside of what we usually do. And before we go, we're gonna do a little segment called a Weddle. Not segment called Weddle, but a game called a Weddle. Basically, you have 8 tries to guess the player of the day. We tried it before, and we sucked. Oh, I sucked.
Yeah.
I got it. No. What's
No,
that?
it was Amir White.
It was Zimmer White. I did one on my own the next day. It was a Panthers guy. I'm disappointed. You know who it was? Deontay Johnson.
Ooh.
I kept putting
That's
Adam
stupid.
Thielen.
That's stupid.
That's what I'm saying,
Stupid.
dog.
That's stupid.
That's what I'm saying. But all right, let's knock this out before we call it a day, Brian. Who is your first guess for this Weddle player of the day?
Darius Slayton.
Darius Slayton. We just talked about him too.
Exactly.
What should actually be him?
It's a Giant.
The Giant. We know it.
Wide receiver. Hyatt.
Hyatt. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no. Wonder Robinson. Wonder Robinson. He's short.
Robinson. I bet. Wait, where is it? That was easy. All right. Thank you very much.
Go, sir.
They should just give us Giants all the time.
That was easy.
That was so easy. Dang. Hey, maybe Darius Slayton is helpful to an extent.
He won Weddle for us. How about you win us a few playoff games? Then we'll talk. Then we'll
Ah,
talk about that contract extension.
he didn't really contribute much in the playoffs. It was Isaiah Hodgins who did against Minnesota. So
That's what made everybody want to sign him. And he did pretty well, but like I think he had like over 100 receiving yards that game.
that was a first for a Giants receiver too.
Yeah.
All right, that'll wrap up the 3rd and 10 podcast for you. The first episode, not really the first episode of our podcast. We just renamed it, but we'll call it episode 1.
You ever watch Parks and Rec?
Yeah, look, nah,
You know Andy's band.
fuck, no.
It's one of the jokes in the show that Andy's band always changed their names, so they have got like 8 different names. So like they're like, how can you be a fan of a band if you don't know what the band's called?
Basically us.
It's exactly what. When I saw 3rd and 10, I'm like, I guess we're a mouse rat now.
It just fits, 3rd and 10, 3 segments. Just kind of play on words, but we hope
I
you
like
guys.
I loved it. I was like, oh, this is a nice change. Cool.
I appreciate that. They put some thought into it.
Yeah.
And if I change it, I owe you $50.
Okay.
Alrighty. Keep me what's the word? Keep me responsible. Is that the word? Keep me accountable, responsible.
There it is. That's
Jesus.
what we're looking for.
Come on, Nate. You took 4 years of English. Figure it out. But
I can't barely read.
Call us dyslexic.
I am.
Nah,
I swear to God, I am.
Really?
That's not even a joke. I am dyslexic.
Is it bad? Is it difficult?
Not bad. Not anymore. It was.
It was. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was bad. Couldn't read till 4th grade.
It don't matter. I can't read anyways. Still, I barely read anyways.
Yeah, I'm a dyslexic sports writer.
And that's why
it's God's cruel joke.
That's why I'm your editor.
Exactly. So
exactly.
All the grammar stuff makes sense now.
Just type whatever you want. Let your boy fix it for you. As it gets published, boom. It's like you wrote the whole thing without any mistakes.
Exactly.
That'll do it for the 3rd and 10 podcast for you. We will be back. Me and Brian will be back with you next week. An episode may come tomorrow by yours truly by himself. Talking about something. We'll find out. Yeah, y'all will find out. But me and Brian together, we'll be back before the draft begins next Thursday. We just don't know what day, but we will figure it out.
You will. Yep. So stay tuned.
Sure will. Yeah. But we can promise you guys once a week from the both of us.
I can promise you once a week for the next month. Then once jobs and everything is settled, we can maybe bump it up. But
we'll see. We shall
exactly.
see. Mm-hmm. Brian, of course, thank you for your time, my brother.
Of course, man. Always a pleasure.
And thank you to you guys for watching and listening to the 3rd and 10 podcast. We will see you next week. Well, we both will see you next week. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one. And remember, we don't go for it on 4th down. Sometimes. Yeah.
That was a first down. I don't care. That was a first down. We got it in 2 tries.
We got the 10 yards. We got the 10 yards. Have a good one, guys.